Hello and welcome to Quiz the Nation, a special coronavirus lockdown version. My name's Jeff Kershaw and I'm delighted to be your host this evening. Now, in better times when we're not locked down, we broadcast Quiz the Nation into selected pubs, and players in those pubs use an app to answer every question. But you don't need an app this evening. All you need is a pencil and paper. There are 5 rounds this evening, all very different from each other, and in every case, following the questions, you'll see 4 options, and all you need to do is choose the correct answer from that option. I'll explain as we go through each round. Now, I really do hope you enjoy the quiz this evening, and if you do, please tell your friends, because it's going to be on again next Sunday, a different quiz, and have fun, enjoy yourselves, and I'll speak to you later on. Our first spot prize question tonight, which you'll be able to answer at the end of the first round, is this. In tonight's first round, which country was the third option shown for question 4? Now that won't make a lot of sense yet, but it will do at the end of this first round. Odd one out. For each of the 8 questions in this round, I'll be showing you a picture, and that picture will be made up of parts of 3 other pictures. And your challenge is to pick from the 4 options that I'll give you at the end of the question which of those options is not part of the picture. For example, if it was a face, the face would be made up of parts of 3 other faces. When I show you the options, just pick the option that isn't part of the face. Or if it was a flag made up of 3 flags, from the options, just pick the country whose flag is not represented in the picture. Straightforward? Let's start with question number 1. Now the first picture is a cityscape, and there are elements of 3 different cities within the picture. See if you can work out what they are. And your task is to pick from the 4 options the option that is not part of this picture. And here are the options. Which one isn't part of the picture? And question 2 is a face made up of 3 faces. That was the first part of the face. Here's the second. And here's the third. Put all those 3 parts together, and here's the combined face. Now, who are the 3 people that make up that face? And here's the question. From these 4 options, pick the option that is not part of the face. Question 3 is a film poster made up of parts of 3 different films. See if you can spot which films are represented in this poster. And here's the question. Which of these 4 options is not featured in the picture? Question 4 is a flag made up of parts of flags from 3 different countries. When I say countries, I also mean protectorates and island states. Can you recognise them? And here's the question. The flag of which of these 4 options is not represented in the picture? Question 5, logos, car company logos. Can you recognise the 3 that are represented in this picture? And here's the question. The logo of which of these 4 companies does not appear in the picture? Question 6, film poster again. Posters made up of parts of posters from 3 different films. Which ones? And here's the question. Which of these 4 movies is not represented in that picture? Question 7 is football club logos. Parts of 3 club logos are represented here. But which clubs? And here's the question. Which football club's logo does not feature here? Make your choice from the 4 options. Question number 8. It's a face again, and there's the first part of the face, and then the second, and here comes the third. Put all 3 together, and here's the final face. Who's represented in that picture? And here's the question, the final one in this round. Which of the options is not featured in the picture? Well, that's the end of all of the questions in round 1, and each of the answers is worth 1 point. Now there's a chance to answer the first spot prize question, and a correct answer to that is worth 2 points. Now, the first spot prize question, which I trailed earlier, is this. In tonight's first round, which country was the 3rd option shown for question 4? They're the options. Make your choice. I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone to mark for you. Or, of course, get ready to mark them for yourselves. And now let's see how well you scored in that first round and with the spot prize question, as we go through the answers. Question 1, the city not featured, was Hong Kong. Question 2, the person not featured was Eva Herzigova. Question 3, the film not featured, Edward Scissorhands. Question 4, the country not featured, Portugal. Question 5, the company not featured, Rover. Question 6, the film not featured, Maleficent. Question 7, the missing football club, Stoke. Question 8, the missing person, Katy Perry. That's the end of the answers for round 1, odd one out, each of those worth 1 point. And now the spot prize answer, which is worth 2 points. And the correct answer was Venezuela. And here's first sight of the spot prize question I'll ask you at the end of the next round. Mental agility. In the mental agility round this evening, who is in the box 1 below box number 1? That won't make much sense yet, but it will after the next round, which is mental agility. In this round I'm going to show you pictures of 9 celebrities and put them in boxes numbered 1 to 9. When I first show you the picture, I'll also give you a fact about that celebrity, which is only going to stay on screen as long as it takes me to read it out, and then you won't see it again. I'll ask you then questions about the positional relationships of the celebrities, their facts and the boxes. So, pay close attention as I go through the 9 celebrities. Here we go. In box number 1 we have Liam Neeson. His fact: in the mid-1970s he attended teacher training college in Newcastle upon Tyne. Box number 2, Mark Wahlberg. His fact: was originally a member of the band New Kids on the Block with his older brother Donny, but left before they became famous. Box 3, Bradley Cooper. He was awarded the title Sexiest Man Alive by People magazine in 2011. Box 4, Julia Roberts. She won an Oscar in 2000 for her portrayal of Erin Brockovich in the film of the same name. Box 5, Jennifer Aniston. She was originally meant to audition for the part of Monica Geller in Friends, but ended up being cast as Rachel Green instead. Box 6, Kristen Stewart. Nominated for a Young Artist Award for her role as Jodie Foster's daughter in the 2002 film Panic Room. Box 7, Shirley Temple. Starred in her first movie, The Red-Haired Alibi, in 1932 at the age of 3. Box number 8, Quvenzhané Wallis. Is the youngest ever nominee in the Academy Awards Best Actress category for her role in Beasts of the Southern Wild. And box number 9, Jaden Smith. His first movie role was alongside his father, Will Smith, in the 2006 film The Pursuit of Happiness. So let's show you all of those faces clearly in their boxes 1 to 9 and show an example question. Which number box contains the person who was in New Kids on the Block? Well, the person's Mark Wahlberg and he is in box number 2. Second example, who's in the box below the box containing the person who won an Oscar in 2000? Well, the person who won the Oscar is Julia Roberts in box 4. Below her, box 7, and in box 7 we have Shirley Temple. So the answer is Shirley Temple. And now let's go with the questions. And here's question number 1. Which person's fact included being the sexiest man alive? Here are your options. Question number 2. Whose fact included cast as Rachel Green? Here are the options. Question 3. Which of the options about to appear was part of the fact relating to the person in box number 6? And the options are: Question 4. Which person is in the box below the person whose fact contained Erin Brockovich? Here are the options. Question 5. Which box contains the person who attended teacher training college? And your options. Question 6. Which person's fact included the Southern Wild? And your options. Question 7. Which box is one to the right of the box containing the person whose fact contained at the age of 3? And your options. And finally, question 8. Which of the options about to appear was part of the fact about the person in the box below the person whose fact included People magazine? And your options are: Well, that's the end of the mental agility questions. Not too tough, I hope. 1 point for each correct answer. And now it's your chance to answer the second spot prize question, which is worth 2 points. Second spot prize question, which I trailed earlier, it's worth 2 points. In the mental agility round this evening, who was in the box 1 below box 1? Here's the options. Make your choice. I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone to mark for you. Or, of course, get ready to mark them for yourselves. Now let's see how well you've done in that second round and how many points you've scored as we look at the answers. Question 1, the answer was Bradley Cooper. Question 2, the answer Jennifer Aniston. Question 3, the answer Young Artist Award. Question 4, the answer Shirley Temple. The answer to question 5, Box 1. And question 6 answer, Quvenzhané Wallis. Question 7, the answer, Box 8. And finally, question 8, the answer, Panic Room. And that's the end of the answers for round 2, with each correct answer being worth 1 point. Now for the spot prize question answer. If correct, that's worth 2 points. And the correct answer, Julia Roberts. And here's the next spot prize question, which you'll be able to answer at the end of the intelligence round, which is coming up in a moment. Here's the question. In round 1 of tonight's show, the odd one out round, the answer to question 2 was Eva Herzegovina. In that question, part of which celebrity's face was seen first? Now here's round 3, intelligence. Now this round is very different. A lot of us spend time on Facebook and Twitter, and imagine what it would have been like if Twitter had been available throughout history, and what some famous people might have tweeted about. In each of the questions in this round, I'm going to show you a possible tweet that someone might have tweeted, and then I'll show you 4 options for you to choose who might have sent that tweet. Here we go with question number 1. Divorced, beheaded, died. Yes, that's got a nice ring to it. I'll try to keep that going. Who might have tweeted that? Here's the options. Tweet number 2. I have a dream today. Who tweeted it? Well, it was one of these people. Question 3. Winning the first ever gender-neutral acting award is very meaningful to me. Who might have tweeted that? One of these options. Question 4. Don't you worry, people of the Philippines. I shall return and defeat these invaders. Who might have sent that tweet? One of these options. Question 5. Older women are so cool. Mine's just presented me with a bear cub. Well, that tweet might have come from one of these options. Question 6. The path towards a free society has not been simple. There are tragic and glorious pages in our history. That tweet may have come from which of these options? Question 7. It is infinitely better to transplant a heart than to bury it to be devoured by worms. Which of these options might have sent that tweet? And finally, question 8. I thought I'd just go fly a kite in a storm. What a shock I got. Who might have sent that tweet? One of these options. Well, that's all the questions in round 3. And remember, each answer is worth 1 point. Now I'm going to give you a chance to answer the third spot prize question, which, as you know, is worth 2 points. Now here's the third spot prize question, which I trailed earlier. In round 1 of tonight's show, the odd one out round, the answer to question 2 was Eva Herzegovina. In that question, part of which celebrity's face was seen first? Here are your options. Make your choice. I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone to mark for you. Or, of course, get ready to mark them for yourselves. Now let's see how well you've scored in that intelligence round as we go through the answers. Remember, 1 point for each correct answer. Let's start with question 1. Correct answer? Henry VIII. Question number 2. The correct answer? Martin Luther King. Question number 3. The answer? Emma Watson. Question 4. This is the answer? General MacArthur. Question 5. And the answer is Liam Payne. Question 6. The correct answer? Vladimir Putin. Question 7. The answer? Christian Barnard. And finally, question number 8. The answer? Benjamin Franklin. And that's the end of all of the answers for round 3 intelligence. Remember, each one of those correct was worth 1 point. Now for the answer to the spot prize question, worth 2 points. And the correct answer? Kate Moss. And now for an advanced look at the final spot prize question, which is coming up at the end of the observation round. What year was shown on the TV monitor screen behind Abby in the Archive News studio? You'll get a chance to answer that question at the end of the next round. Observation. Round 4 is our observation round, and in a moment I'm going to send you over to our News Archive studio, where our newscaster Abby Stewart will tell you about a particular part of history. Now you must pay careful attention to everything you hear and everything you see, because anything might come back to you in the form of a question. Here's Abby.
Welcome to the Archive News studio. On the 8th of February 1587, Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded at Fotheringhay Castle on the orders of her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I. Mary had lived a difficult life, having ascended to the Scottish throne at only 6 days old, following the death of her father, King James V, in 1542. She was quickly sent to live in France and, having been raised in the French court, married the Dauphin, or heir, in 1558, who became King Francis II in 1559. Sadly, he died the following year and Mary returned to Scotland to take her place as Queen. Mary married her English cousin, Lord Darnley, in 1565 in the hope of reinforcing her claim to the English throne as and when Queen Elizabeth died. In 1567, though, Darnley was killed in a mysterious explosion which many believe to have been caused by Mary's lover, the Earl of Bothwell. Despite that, Mary married Bothwell later that same year, a marriage which enraged the nobility and forced Mary to raise an army against them. However, she was defeated, imprisoned, and then forced to abdicate in favour of her son, 1-year-old James. In 1568, Mary managed to escape and fled to England, where she hoped she would be greeted kindly by the Queen. Unfortunately, this was not the case, as Mary, a confirmed Catholic, became the focus of various English and Spanish plots to overthrow Elizabeth, a confirmed Protestant. Elizabeth decided to place Mary under house arrest while she worked out what to do with her, meaning that Mary spent the next 19 years moving from castle to castle without any charge being brought against her. In 1586, though, that changed, when a major plot to murder Elizabeth was discovered and Mary was finally brought to trial. She was convicted of complicity, sentenced to death, and then beheaded in front of a crowd of between 400 and 500 people. She is said to have faced death calmly and courageously. After Queen Elizabeth's death in 1603, Mary's son, King James VI of Scotland, became King James I of England, so Mary's dream to unite the thrones of England and Scotland was finally realised through her son.
Thanks, Abby. Now, keep concentrating, because here come the questions. How old was Mary when she ascended to the throne in Scotland? Here are your options. Question 2. What was the name of the castle where Mary was beheaded? Here are your options. Question 3. What was Mary wearing around her neck in the picture of her as Queen of Scotland? Here are the options. Question 4. In which year did Mary marry her English cousin, Lord Darnley? And your options? Question 5. When Mary was forced to abdicate in favour of her son, James, how old was he? Here are your options. Question 6. Catholics from which two countries saw Mary as their focus to overthrow Queen Elizabeth? And here are your options. Question 7. How long did Mary spend under house arrest whilst Queen Elizabeth decided what to do with her? Your options? Question 8. Your final question. Queen Elizabeth finally ordered Mary's execution after her trial in 1586. By what method? Here are your options. Now for the fourth and final spot prize question, which I trailed earlier. What year was shown on the TV monitor screen behind Abby in the Archive News studio? Your options? And remember, a correct answer here is worth 2 points. I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone to mark for you. Or, of course, get ready to mark them for yourselves. Now let's see how well you've scored in that fourth round as we go through all of the answers. And remember, each correct answer is worth 1 point. Question number 1. The answer, 6 days. Question 2. Where was Mary beheaded? Fotheringay Castle. Question 3. What was she wearing around her neck? A string of pearls. Question 4. In which year did she marry? 1565. Question 5. How old was her son James? 1 year. Question 6. The two countries, England and Spain. Question number 7. How long was she under house arrest? 19 years. And finally, question 8. How was Mary executed? She was beheaded. And that's the end of all of the answers for round 4 observation, each correct answer being worth 1 point. Now I'm going to give you the correct answer for the spot prize question, and this is worth 2 points. And the correct answer, 1587. And now it's time for the final round in tonight's Quiz the Nation, General Knowledge. Our final round is General Knowledge, but with a difference. Each question is going to start with a picture. See what you can recognise from the picture before I ask you the question, and then give you 4 options from which to choose your answer. Here comes question number 1. Take a look at this picture and see if you recognise it. Here comes the question. Officially the second tallest building in this city when it was completed, this skyscraper condominium was completed in 2015. Which building did it beat into 3rd place? Here come your options. Make your choice. Question 2. Endemic to one specific region, the seeds featured with this buoy can weigh up to 30 kilograms each. Classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List, which country are they endemic to? Here are your options. Make your choice. Question 3. Take a look at this picture. The building seen in this picture stands 57 metres tall and was designed by a famous Canadian-American architect. What is the name of the river upon which it stands? Here are your options. Question 4. A flag. Do you recognise it? The flag featured here serves two different islands, the larger being the more famous. It was given its name by the explorer who discovered it in the 15th century. Who was he? Well, he was one of these four people. Make your choice. Question 5. Another building. Seating 2,265 people, the building featured here opened in 2003. It is located in a county that attracted 6.7 million international visitors in 2015. In which city is the building located? Make your choice from these four options. Question 6. A logo. This logo belongs to a South Korean car manufacturer who relaunched a famous American manufacturer's vehicles to the European market. Which American manufacturer was it? It was one of these four options. Question 7. A beautiful bridge. But where? The bridge featured here spans a river notorious for its flooding, leading to the erection of major flood defences. What is the name of the river? Here's the options. And question 8, the final question. Where's that? The airport featured here has annual passenger numbers exceeding 58 million people. Its capital has a number of museums, one of which is specific to which artist? And here are your options. Make your final choice for tonight's quiz. I'm now going to give you a minute to tidy up your answer papers and hand them over to someone to mark for you. Or, of course, get ready to mark them for yourselves. And now let's see how well you've scored in the final round. Remember, it's 1 point for each correct answer. Here we go with the answer to question number 1. Question 1. The building it beat into third place, the Empire State Building. And the building in the picture is 432 Park Avenue in New York. Question 2. The answer? The Seychelles. And the boys holding a Coco de Mer seed. Question 3. The answer, the Nervion, and the building is the Guggenheim in Bilbao, and the architect was Frank Gehry. Question 4. The answer, Christopher Columbus, And the flag is of Antigua and Barbuda. Question 5. The answer, Los Angeles. And the building is the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Question 6. The answer, Chevrolet. And the logo belongs to Daewoo. Question 7. The river, the Vltava, and the bridge in the picture is the Charles Bridge in Prague. And the final question of tonight's quiz, the answer, Vincent van Gogh. And the airport pictured is Amsterdam Schiphol. That's it. The end of the very first COVID-19 lockdown special of Quiz the Nation. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please tell your friends, because it's going to be on again next Sunday at the same time, 8 o'clock, in the same place. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.